Let's get the latest from PCG spokesperson Captain Noemie Cayabyab. Captain, thank you for joining us again.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning, Angela and Angela sa ating mga taga-subaybay.
Alright, Captain, the last time we spoke, kasalukuyan, at that time, pasimula pa lang yung dive nyo. But now, could you give us an update on yung supposedly yung new evidence na nakita po ng ROV nyo?
Yes, Angela, we are now in our day 6 of a diving operation. So kahapon na ginawa ng ating ROV is just to test its capability. So nakita nga natin doon na marami talagang debris sa ilalim ng Taal Lake. So ang ginagawa naman ng Philippine Coast Guard pagdating sa diving operations nito, well again, we have to consider the depth of the lake. Once na merong makita ang ating ROV, that's the time na pinapababa natin yung ating mga divers.
All right. Can you also give us a picture of how was the operations now that we are on day 6?
Well, similar pa rin ang process na ginagawa natin. Ang pinaka-update is and-expand natin yung ating search area from the initial 100 meter by 100 meter. Ngayon ay meron na po tayong 300 meter by 186 meter. And since malaki po ang coverage ng search area na ito, ay ginawa po natin by quadrant. So we are about to complete the search area for the first quadrant. But as to the process, once we get a suspicious object and once we retrieve it in the water surface, we follow the same procedures and protocols. We automatically and immediately turn it over to the SOCO.
Captain, initially kasi yung search was based on a testimony ni yung Julie Patidongan, si Alice Totoy, na nakasako. But are you also looking for possible other evidence na hindi po nakasako?
Well, nabanggit natin na malabo and maburak yung ilalim. So initially talaga, Angelo, pagdating po sa ilalim ay hindi nakikita ng ating divers based sa mga feedbacks po natin. And that's the reason why we are utilizing now our ROV. So any suspicious object sa ilalim po ng Taal Lake ay kinukuha po natin kasi we don't know kung ano yung nasa loob ng mga sako na yon. And it's only the SOCO that verified and confirmed what's inside in that sack.
Yeah. All right. So prior to the search and retrieval operations, I remember there were reports also that the DOJ has said that they will ask assistance from Japan, no, pagdating sa mga technical assistance that they will need, no, in the operations. Are we also still pushing for that?
Yes, we are very open kung ano man yung additional resources and tulong na maibibigay ng ibang ahensya, government man yan or private. Well, the Philippine Coast Guard is one part of that operations po. Kami po ay andito para tumulong sa diving operations. And kung ano man po ang additional resources na maibibigay sa atin dito sa ground at meron naman pong legal clearance, because again, this is a criminal investigation. So there should be a legal clearance from the Department of Justice. So once we get a legal clearance, well, kahit ano pong tulang ay tatanggapin po ng Philippine Coast Guard.
And Captain, kamusta na po ang coordination nyo with SOCO and yung mga ibang agencies with regards to yung pagkuha po ng evidence? Naka-establish na po ba kayo ng mga protocols?
Yes, if I could just mention, and I think this is also a good opportunity for our viewers to know what's the protocol. Kasi meron mga speculations and allegations na natatanggap at nakikita po natin. So just to mention how we do the retrieval and the turnover of those gathered suspicious objects to the SOCO. So the past few days, may mga retrieves po tayo na mga sacks. So ang ginagawa po natin, since the first limitation then is yung lapo and yung visibility underwater, bumababa po or sumisisid ang ating technical divers and usually kapa po. So kinakapa nila yung mga objects na yon sa ilalim po ng Taal Lake. And if they found out a suspicious object, tinatalian po nila yan and pag-angat po ay nilalagay nila ng mga floating markers so para hindi po sila mawala pagbalik nila kung babalikan yung object na yon. And then we inform the SOCO and then the lead agency. And then once we get an approval or a go signal to retrieve that object, that's the time na ibinababa po natin ulit yung ating mga technical divers. But then again, considering yung sack, kasi we don't know kung ito ba ay yung capacity to hold the object So considering na lahat na nakikita natin mga sako ay may mga butas at sira na, so imagine Angelo and Angela na iaakyat natin 50 to 70 meters in depth.
Yes, oo.
Because 50 feet in depth. Kasi yan yung usually na lalim na feedback sa atin na nire-report ng mga technical divers. So imagine natin yung sak na butas at sira at iaakyat natin. So we cannot preserve the integrity of that object. And the first guidance to us, the important guidance, is to always ensure the integrity of that object. So we put it in a sack. Now, yung fine mesh net na nakikita ng ating mga manonood sa mga videos na nakikita sa mga TV. So we wanted to preserve, so that's why we put it in a fine mesh net. And once na naiakyat po yan sa water surface, meron na pong SOCO na nakaantabay because nilalagay po natin yung location kung saan natin nakuha because the coordinates would form part of the investigation. And then once we retrieve and nasa water surface, automatic and turn over po natin ibinibigay sa SOCO na nasa search area po. So that's what we do, and automatic ang SOCO po, they bring the object that we retrieve to the staging area for further verification. So every day, once we find out a object, that's the protocol and the process that the Philippine Coast Guard did.
Okay, just to clarify din po, spokes, Captain, ito pong area where we are doing the operation right now is the area supposedly sinabi ni alias Totoy, yung sa may fish pond na merong may pagmamayari. Yun pa lang po yung area na yun. Tama po ba?
We expanded na po, Angela, no? So hindi lang po ito sa testimony, but may kasama na po intelligence information.
Right.
Again, yung vastness po ng Taal Lake, imagine po na po ay sisiro natin. It would take years for the Philippine Coast Guard kahit magdagdag pa po tayo ng additional resources. So the information, the location that we have right now as our search area is taken from the intelligence information that we received from the lead agency.
Yun nga po that's why my next question would be, hanggang kailan po natin masasabi na okay, we're done now, we have already exhausted lahat ng mga dapat namin makita dito, and I think this is it already.
Yes, as to the duration of the operation, well, I think I am not in the proper, the Philippine Coast Guard is not in the proper authority. Again, we are just a part of these operations, just to do the diving operations. So as of now, ang guidance naman sa atin, no, hanggang sa meron tayong nakikita ng mga suspicious objects, and hanggang wala po tayong natatanggap na instruction from the lead agency, the Philippine Coast Guard will continuously do its diving operation every day po.
Captain, I'd like to get a better understanding or a picture of ano yung challenges yung na hinaharap ng Coast Guard divers nyo sa lake. Kasi I've seen retrieval operations sa ocean, no, sa dagat. And I understand kasi doon, if may marker kayo na may kung saan supposedly yung hinahanap nyo, you have to account for yung wind also, tsaka yung waves. So that's why may area kayo. Sa lake po ba, ganun din? Or hindi masyado dahil medyo stagnant ang tubig dyan?
Yes, Angela, halos pareho. So mapapansin natin, pag tinatanong tayo anong challenges, una, naka-alert level status yung ating Taal volcano.
That's
so
right.
may mga possible sulfur dioxide emission dyan na hindi lang natin nakikita. And then pangalawa is yung labo and yung maburak na area. And usually pag hapon, umuulan. And pag medyo malakas ang hangin at umuulan, nakaka-apekto yan sa current ng ating diving area, search area. And this past few days, nakaka-receive na rin tayo ng concern sa ating mga technical divers bukod doon sa mga weather disturbances na present every day is yung skin irritation. So probably this is because of the yung presence ng alert level status. May mga emission, may mga maliliit pa rin particles na lumalabas sa hangin. So probably this also contributes to doon sa mga concerns, medical concern and health concerns ng ating mga technical divers.
Well, along my part, last na, no, ewan ko. Captain, how are you guys preparing? Kasi hindi man pag-asa daw, may namamataan na supposedly may bagyo na namumuo. Ano po mangyayari in case this happens?
Every diving operation, bago po natin sila i-deploy, ay may nakakakuha po tayo ng mga information. Hindi lang po to consider the weather, pero again, itong field box po, yan po yung mga considerations natin. And again, the condition of the lake, no, yung current ng lake, ay malaking factor po yan to temporarily suspend our operation. I think this happened, I think day 1 or day 2, na medyo malakas yung current ng Taal Lake. We temporarily suspend. So again, the topmost priority of the Philippine Coast Guard is to always ensure the safety of our technical
Right.
divers.
That's
Kasi we don't know kung kailan ito matatapos, and we have to sustain our presence for this diving
That's right.
operation.
Captain, before we let you go, we wanna also make sure na even if suspended po yung operations dun sa area, secured naman po yun, just to, let us know na yung area na yun ay wala pong possible tampering ng other entities.
Yes, meron po tayong security personnel na naka-in-charge po
Nakatap.
din because we really wanted to ensure the integrity of the search area. And nabanggit ko nga po kayo na, well, the current is one of the factor, but this past few days, we are now in our day 6. Kahapon, medyo umuulan at medyo malakas din ng konti yung current, but the Philippine Coast Guard divers continue its diving operation. So we did 3 diving operation yesterday and with the assistance of the ROV. So we give our best effort sa diving operations na ito because our main purpose is not just to help the lead agency but to give justice, yung katotohanan at justisya para sa mga pamilya.
Well, we are one with you in seeking clarity on this issue. Maraming salamat po sa inyong PCG spokesperson, Captain Noemie Cayabyab. Thank you so much for
Thank you,
joining us.
Angela. Good morning.
No, maganda,
Day
we have
6 na pala,
day
no?
6 and maganda that we understand also yung dinadaanan ng divers kasi usually pag sa dagat naman wala silang issues of skin irritation.
Ito medyo warm yung water tapos may mga skin irritation.
Problema
Pakita
daw-
mo naman, sobrang dumi na.
Oo nga, ang problema daw sa Taal Lake, warm tapos may times na nag-extreme colds. May I remember when we spoke to Captain noon, minsan nagta-32 degrees ang diving temperature, sometimes nagsi-17. So depende sa sumpong daw ng volcano. Kahit walang actual activity ang volcano, mainit yung ilalim ng vulkan eh. So pag mainit yan, yung ground temperature ng bed ng Taal Lake, umiinit.
That's why it's not advisable for swimming. It's just that we just need to do something dun, hanapin yung mga allegedly possible remains doon.
Yeah.